Welcome to Boardgamer, and in today's video we're going to take a look at Xenos. So taking a look at Xenos, the pros of Xenos is they are a QIC powerhouse. They also will just maximize getting right to the top of the QIC tree. The con with Xenos is their strategy is all about Federation tokens, and because of that it can be easy to try and cut them off to make sure that they can't get exactly where they need to go on the map, and that will be how you would starve out Xenos. Now if we're talking rivals, Ambas, Valtax and Ivit are all going to be ones that will be rivals. Why? Because Ambas is all about making federations, and they will be trying to take the brown planets and the yellow planets. Valtax are all about making use of QIC actions along with taking the orange planets and the yellow planets. And then Ivits are all about making federations, so they'll be taking every planet, but especially they'll be taking these orange planets, and slowly they'll be working to take the yellow planets away from Xenos. So those are going to be our major rivals if we're playing Xenos. So let's talk map. The key to Xenos, all being about federations, is really proven by how they are the only faction that starts with 3 of their mines. This allows us to really spread out across the map, to maximize on trying to make lots and lots of small federations. So we want to see a map that reflects that. Now of course, as we can see by our board, both orange and brown are our easiest terraforming opportunities, so we want to see that reflected. So we have a brown adjacent on this tile, or if we see tiles that are adjacent with browns or with oranges, that's always going to be nice. Now, a temptation can be to really widely spread the mines, and this isn't a bad idea. It does give us lots of opportunities, but the only problem is we could spread ourselves a bit too thin. If we was to spread ourselves really thin, it could make for a pretty difficult game to try and expand, especially when we look at some of the opportunities aren't going to be developed anywhere until the later or mid game. So that is something to look out for. Sometimes it's not a terrible idea to give ourselves a really big boost by having a slightly tighter start to the game, and this will make it a little bit easier for perhaps building on a big start to try and get our economy rolling and try and get some early Federation tokens going. That's also another option that you can have. They're a little bit flexible with that, but also because of this is why the sectors end game scoring might be an option as well to explore. Let's talk round boosters. Of course, with Xenos, you're going to get your Planetary Institute out early in the game, and you're definitely going to want to get one, if not both, of your academies. So this round booster is going to be a very high scorer for you. Now, along the way, you're going to be trying to maximize on QIC, so getting extra QIC is always nice. You're also going to be wanting to build a lot, so getting extra ore is nice, along with some knowledge. And then both of these actions, these special actions, are going to help you as you try and spread throughout the map and build more buildings. Now, as Xenos are relatively open, you can play them in a lot of different ways. They obviously have their main idea of QIC and of federations, though they are a bit more forgiving in you can play them a few different ways. If you're new, they're very comfortable. That's why they're one of the starting factions, but it doesn't mean in any way they're bad. You just probably won't be seeing those 200 plus scores with Xenos, but they are going to be a lot of fun still to play. So if we're talking tech tree, you're almost always going to want to get to the top of the QIC. Xenos are one of those factions that can definitely maximize on these QIC special actions. They're going to really do well at that. They're going to smash them. So you're definitely going to want to maximize on that by trying to get to the top of this. They also want Federation tokens, so getting to the top of the terraforming track to get an extra Federation token is nice as well. And of course, with advanced tech tiles, it would be lovely if you do see the Federation bonuses at the top of those. That will also be a nice little incentive. Along the way, Of course, trying to build federations, you're going to need to terraform, you're going to need to expand, and it'll be nice to get an economy rolling. So these are going to be your main ways. It's unlikely that with Xenos you're going to go up the Gaia forming track, so we can afford to lose a tech tile that we're not so interested in along that way. But otherwise, for placement, it's always nice to see our economy doubled. So having our economy tiles on either of our economy tracks or on an open track is always a nice flexible strategy. That's always good to see. It will always have a nice game if we do that. Either having this bonus on the QIC track or having it on the terraforming track is always nice, because it means we double up on the bonus that we're going to get initially with having that tile there. Now let's talk tech tiles. This is going to be our most important tech tile for Xenos. Why? Because it doubles with their faction ability of getting their Planetary Institute out, so we get a discount of needing only 6 power for a federation. Increased with this tech tile means that if we get our academies and our Planetary Institute along with one of those things, we only need 2 more power to make federations. Makes making federations super easy. Along with that tech tile, we'll want anything that then helps our economy along the way, such as some income or some ore and power charge. That's going to be a real help with getting along the way to making our federations. Along with this, with our actions, wherever we can, we'll hear about this in almost all videos. Whenever you can take power, take the credit, take the ore, unless some of these other actions seems really necessary. If you're playing a competitive game, then these 2 actions are always going to go first. Now let's talk end scoring and round boosters. Now, of course, as we're building everything to do with federations, this is going to be your most important end scoring tile. You see this tile come out, you're already thinking, okay, I'm playing a federation based faction, and Xenos are the heart of that, so that's a great tile for them. Along with that, they'll be building loads of buildings, so this one's always going to be working out well. If one of these doesn't come out, you also could look at these 2, as they're very general and they tend to work very well for Xenos. Xenos are a relatively straightforward, pretty forgiving faction to play, and these are 2 very forgiving general tech tile endgame scoring tiles as well. Now, with that being our goal, the goal of Xenos is just to get federations. So along the way, they're going to want the big buildings. As we saw earlier, they're going to want to get these buildings out to capitalize on their ability and to create a nice combination with that tile. So to do so, they'll be wanting to get these big buildings out. That will be really, really useful. Having these tiles out, being able to get federations earlier on before the end game will be nice. And building any buildings along the way is going to be a massive, massive help. You're going to want to be able to see anything that helps you progress towards this goal here. So overall, what is going to be our general strategy idea? Our general strategy, we're going to want to take that token. We're going to want to get our Planetary Institute out. We want to get both of our academies out. We want to, every time we cash in on a federation, we want to take this token here so that we get more QIC, because more QIC means we can do more with it. We can either convert it or to build more things to get another federation token, or we can play it here and cash in to rescore a federation token, helping us just jump around the scoring board all along the way. And that's kind of what we want to be doing as a general idea when playing Xenos. If you've got someone playing these, they're going to be trying to cut you off on the map, they're going to be trying to take away, and that's going to make things a little bit challenging. So just look out if you've got someone that's trying to cut you off. Sometimes it's better to cut your losses and to try and build the other way if that's what someone's trying to do.